Ladies and gentlemen, today once again we have three very important topics. I have given you detailed notes on these topics. I will be just introducing these topics. We have our free trade, international trade. Then we have SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and globalization. These three topics are highly essential because these are current issues. We have to understand that how free trade or international trade happens in the world. I have given you in the notes the details of capitalism. Capitalism promotes free market economy and private ownership. That private sector, they should do the business. State has nothing to do with the business. In communism, the focus is state, and that is called centralized economy. Every state should take care of the economy, while in capitalism, individuals, private sector, they should take care of the economy. Now, this concept of capitalism is related to liberalism. Liberalism is that the word liberalism comes from liberty, and liberty means free or freedom. So in liberalism, markets are free. There is demand and supply policy. If there is demand, so there will be supply. For example, in the market, there is demand of tomatoes, so there will be more supply of tomato. But if there is no one buying tomato, so why there should be supply of tomato? Now the price of tomato will determine on demand and supply. But at the same time, we also have competition. Whose tomato you have to buy? A person whose tomato is the best quality, a person who has the price is low and the quality is the best. So we buy those tomatoes. So these are market forces. Market forces, competition, freedom, they provide the opportunities for market. When this liberalism becomes international, so that is called new liberalism. New liberalism. We have realism and we have new realism. Realism is at the state level. New realism is at international level. Similarly, liberalism is at local level or unit level, while new liberalism, that is at international or global level. For example, globalization. So globalization is also the product of new liberal policies. Many communists and many conservative and other people, they criticize new liberal policy, and they also call it new colonialism. As we discussed in some other lecture, that nowadays there is no territorial annexation. Now countries are not occupying physically the land, but they are reaching to the markets of those countries, and they are promoting their exports. So in this regard, we go for the new liberalism policies, and free trade like Doha and Bali and other conferences, WTO, World Trade Organization, all these are promoting free trade, international trade, trade without tariffs, without taxes. There should be free imports and exports. For example, within a country, you are in Pakistan, so if somebody wants to bring tomato from Peshawar, from Karachi, from Quetta, from Lahore, so there is no control. You can bring your tomato from anywhere because you are a Pakistani. So the same concept is in the international trade. Anybody wants to sell anything anywhere, so that is international trade. And to popularize and to facilitate this concept, that is globalization. that the whole world is like a global village, so there should be no protection, no protectionism, there should be open competition. Any person who can provide good quality stuff and with better prices, so one should buy it. For example, China is exporting to the whole world. What is this? This is WTO, World Trade Organization. This is international trade. This is free trade. But sometimes it is not that much easy, and that's why sometimes globalization has a lot of challenges, because other countries, they do not allow that you bring the flood of your products to their country. What their own farmers, what their own manufacturers, what their own industries will be doing. Then if we bring everything from China, so our own industrial sector will finish. Our own farmers will not grow crops. They will only buy from China wheat and rice and everything. So then our whole system will come down. These are some of the challenges of globalization. Today I have given you excellent notes with a lot of details, a lot of data, a lot of definitions, challenges to globalization, pros and cons of globalization, advantages and disadvantages of globalization, challenges to globalization, and the last one, that is SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. As I have told you many times, that United Nations has two purposes. One is peace and security, and the other is development, prosperity, education, economy, these things. So United Nations is doing excellently on the development side. On its security, peace, there are challenges, because still in the world there are wars and there are conflicts like Palestine and Kashmir. But in development, prosperity, education, science, culture, United Nations is doing a lot. One of the example was MDG, Millennium Development Goals. Millennium Development Goals was from 2000 to 2015. And those goals, some countries they realized, Pakistan could not realize it. And now from 2015 to 2030, there are SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. For example, no hunger, no poverty, quality education, and clean water. So all these things, the 17 goals that you have, which I have given you in the notes, these are Sustainable Development Goals. Pakistan is also doing a lot, because sustainable development is now highly essential. Development, yes, but without destroying nature, without the destruction of environment. We should be careful while doing development. This care in development makes us sustainable developers. Sustain, like continue, and we don't stop. So please make a comment that I must be expert on international trade, globalization, and SDGs. I must be expert on international trade, globalization, एंड SDGs. ये अपनी उंगली से ये अल्फाज को एक दफ़ा निकालो, लिखो इसको. इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड कैसे होता है, फिर ग्लोबलाइजेशन क्या है, इसकी क्या हिस्ट्री है, इसके चैलेंजेस क्या है, इसके सॉल्यूशंस क्या है, और फिर जो है हमारे SDGs, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स. इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन सो प्लीज आस्क, अदरवाइज जस्ट गो एंड स्टार्ट रीडिंग द नोट्स. नोट्स में सब कुछ है, बेहतरीन तरीके से दिया गया है. और इन 3 टॉपिक से आपको ऐसे भी आता है ग्लोबलाइजेशन पे, IR में भी क्वेश्चन आता है, करंट अफेयर्स में भी क्वेश्चन आता है, पाकिस्तान अफेयर्स में भी क्वेश्चन आता है. और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल जो है ये हाईली इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है. इस पे अक्सर एग्जाम्स में क्वेश्चंस आने लगे हैं. तो थोड़ा सा मैंने आपका माइंड जो है वो क्लियर कर दिया इन 3 टॉपिक्स पे. और अभी आपने इसको पढ़ना है। आज हमारा करंट अफेयर्स का आखिरी क्लास है इस मंथ का, तो मैंने तकरीबन जो है सारा करंट अफेयर जो ग्लोबल इश्यूज है उसको टच किया, तमाम टॉपिक्स पे आपको नोट्स दिए हैं। अगर आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है, कोई डिबेट है, तो किसी भी टाइम आप मेरे साथ कर सकते हैं और नोट्स को पढ़े। अगर इन नोट्स को आप पढ़ते हैं तो मुझे पक्का यकीन है कि आप एग्ज़ाम में ज़रूर टॉप मार्क्स लेंगे। जब आप नोट्स को पढ़ते हैं और आपको लगता है कि कोई चीज़ उसमें मिसिंग है, तो उसको फिर मज़ीद आप स्टडी करें, मज़ीद जो है फिर उस पर गूगल करें, अपने बुक्स को पढ़ें। लेकिन नोट्स आपको एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस देगा। So all the best, take care. I have to attend some important meeting, so that's why I will be saying you good night.